Alright, so um, we had some technical issues. I'm driving, talking and driving. We had some technical issues, so um, just going to continue the report on the Spike TV telecast that we had. We had some Wi-Fi issues. Didn't really have a Wi-Fi, so a lot of people use their phone as a hotspot to try to give updates as they can. I didn't bring a laptop computer, so I had the old trusty iPad. So taping or typing things up in Word and then doing a copy paste to the website wasn't feasible. So I had to go with eventually trying to use a mobile phone to type things up, which isn't the same, of course. And you get the fat finger a lot of times, and so on and so forth. And then nobody had juice on their phone. No one had juice. And as I'm like, okay, did everybody in the media and even fans, did everybody forget to charge their phone except me? So as I'm typing, I'm keeping my phone plugged in, and then multiple people, can I borrow your charger? Can I borrow your charger? And then I ran out of juice. And I'm like, well, I need to juice up my phone. And so from a coverage standpoint, things just got kind of crazy. So got some juice back in the phone, and that was it. Speaking of juice, let me pick up where the articles or where the coverage left off. We had in a welterweight, 6-round welterweight, we had Anthony Juice Young. Speaking of juice, came into the bout 11-2, 5 knockouts, taking on Juan Rodriguez, 6-4-1, 5 KOs. Now Juice actually lost his last fight, and he got stopped, and I think that came into play in the fight. Juice had a new trainer. One thing about Juice, in the first round, both fighters came out, landed combinations. Juice won the round just by landing a little bit more. Second round, Juice was a bit gun shy, and that happens when you come off a knockout and you fight someone. I don't care who it is. I mean, you're gonna be a little gun shy. Excuse me. You're gonna be a little gun shy when you're fighting, and he definitely seemed that way. And he caught a nice right hand and stopped Juice in his tracks. And just as his corner backed him up a little bit to the ropes, and just as his corner and fans were yelling, "Get off the ropes, Juice!" Boom! A big left hook dropped Rodriguez. And but to his credit, he got up. He landed a nice right. And Juice, though he's changed trainers, I don't care how many trainers you change, if you don't correct the flaws, you're going to be changing trainers for the rest of your life. I don't care if you got Chappie Blackburn or Emmanuel Stewart or whoever it is. You gotta get those flaws. And one flaw that Juice Young has is that when he's in an exchange and he's done, he doesn't get his head out of the way, and he gets caught. He gets caught coming out. He gets caught without coming out sometimes. And if you have a puncher, not just a puncher, but someone who, whenever there's an exchange, they always want to land the final flurry, like they always want to land the last, he's going to get caught if he doesn't correct that flaw with his head movement. And it might be a right hand, but it definitely will be a counter left hook if he doesn't watch himself. The third round, Juice got in and out a lot better. He started to move his head a little bit. And so he whatever his corner told him or whatever he learned from his loss, it seemed to be ringing a bell there. He still got countered toward the end, but he did enough to win that round. Very nice body work in the fourth round by both guys. Juice landed a left hook to the body that got Juan's attention, and then Rodriguez came back with a left-right combination to the body. A good right by Juan to punctuate the round, and so the fourth was pretty decent. And then when we get to the sixth and the final round, Juan landed a big right hand, and then followed it up with another right. Juice tied him up, and then Juice landed a big left hook toward the end of the round, and Juan countered with the right hand to end the fight. It was good fight, good learning experience from both guys. I think if those same punches were landed by a guy with better or more power than Rodriguez, Young could have been in trouble. But it's a good bounce back fight from him. He didn't need anything easy. He needed to come back, still get hit a little bit more, and understand, okay, I can take those punches. You know, I still have a chin. I'm not chinny where that loss ruined me. So it was good win for him. And now below this video, you'll see a lot of some of the other fights that I began to work on. We also had a 4-round middleweight bout with Chris Thomas from Atlantic City, 1-0, versus Jesse Singletary from Washington, D.C. And Singletary, we saw him fight his debut fight in Maryland at Burns Arena, I believe. Was that? I don't think it was Hassan Rockman's son that fought him, but he fought his debut and at Burns Arena. Remember the kid, and he has a look of fear on his face when he comes out. I mean, it's like I tell you what, I wouldn't recommend he play poker. I mean, it's just, there's a look of fear. Or maybe he should play poker, because once the bell rings, he comes out, he tries his best. Unfortunately, his best wasn't good enough. On Friday night, as he was knocked out in the first round. Big lead right hand at 2:26 of round number 1, and Chris Thomas moves to 2-0. Singletary falls to 0-2. It was actually, they were listed as middleweights, but it was actually over the middleweight. Thomas came in at like 165 and a half, and Singletary was maybe 164 or so. So it was over the weight. And we get to the TV portion, and I have some details about, and forgive me, fans, once again, I'm driving. The Guzman fight, of course. Jonathan Guzman, or Guzman, as people say, take your pick. He came into the fight 20-0 with 20 knockouts, all 20 victories by KO. super bantamweight fight. And then Daniel Rojas, or Rosas, as some people say, from Mexico. He's 20-2 with 12 knockouts. And good action in this fight. Good action. Guzman, I tell you what, Guzman is cracking. Guzman is hitting hard. However, he has those defensive liabilities that will always suggest that he's going to be in an action fight, whether he's delivering it, whether he's receiving some of the action, a piece of the action, or a combination of them both. Rojas, he surprised Guzman early with a nice left hook that definitely got Guzman's attention. Guzman landed some nice looping right hands midway through the first round. A left hook by Rojas. Body work by Guzman. Another hook by Rojas. Close round. I gave it to Rojas, actually. And one defensive flaw is Guzman is going to be a sucker for the left hook. I mean, there's no other way I can put it. He's just wide open. If he fights someone that knows how to properly throw the left hook, he's going to eat the canvas. Now, there's something about power, and he has power. So if he gets up and winds up knocking the opponent out, that's one thing. However, I can guarantee you, if Guzman doesn't get that fixed, he's going to hit the canvas. He's going to hit the canvas often. Round 2, there was a nice left-right combination by Guzman to open the round. I guess to send a message like, you got me in the first round, I'm going to get you early in the second round. Left to the body by Rojas. I noticed that when Guzman throws a jab, and I'm talking about a real jab, he's good. He's fine. He just doesn't do it enough. He paws it out there and he doesn't commit to it. He landed a couple of nice rights in the second round. Rojas pointed to his chin and said, "Give me some more. Come on. You're not hitting as hard as the book that's out on you says." And there was a nice left hook at the end of the round to punctuate the round. Gave it to Guzman. Round 3, nice round by Guzman. I mean, he scored with multiple lefts and rights. Fourth round, a little bit of the same, and then a nice left hook kind of stopped Guzman. I mean, stopped him. Stopped him in his tracks. Action both ways in the fight. Round 5, check hook. Again, another check hook. And then a big hook drove Rojas back to the ropes. And then a short left hand dropped him hard. Rojas got up at the bell. Very unsteady legs, but he survived. And throughout the fight, just left hooks and hooks to the body by Rojas to try to keep it close. The fight, the more telling blows were landed, of course, by Guzman. Rojas, very, very brave warrior in there. He began to swell up. His face began to swell up. I saw some blood. Grueling fight. Guzman started landing big shots. Rojas was game. He just didn't have enough pop on his punches. And in the 8th, Rojas didn't really have any legs left. Guzman realized this, and he used a lot of movement. And at the end of the round, there was a corner stoppage. 3 minutes into the 8th round, stoppage. So 21-0, 21 knockouts. He's one to watch, and he's going to be very entertaining, as I stated, because of the knockout power, but more importantly because of the defensive deficiencies. You heard it here first. There's going to be a left hook that drops Guzman. It may not knock him out, but he's going to have to do some things defensively. The co-feature was Anthony Dirrell, Caleb Truex. It didn't last long, I'll tell you that much. Caleb never really got into the fight, and Dirrell did what you're supposed to do, which is stop the opponent. When you have the opponent caught in trouble, stop them. And the combinations were too much, too fast, too soon, and he got Truex out of there. KO first round, big right hands. He dropped him a few times. What can you say? I mean, what more can you say? He delivered. He delivered in a big way, and the dog, the dog Dirrell, he goes to 29, 1-1, 23 knockouts, and it was a 10-rounder super middleweight fight. So 2 knockdowns in the first, and then it was I believe it was 1 minute and 49 seconds into the first round. When I first saw it, I'm like, okay, stop it, it's over. I'm a New Jersey guy. The fight was in New Jersey. I'm like, okay, let's err on the side of safety here. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got quite fucked up, for lack of a better term. So forgive me. When I watched the replay, and I watched the reaction of Truex when he got up complaining, you could look at it and say, okay, give the guy another shot. It is early in this fight, and he's cognizant. I mean, he knows where he's at. He's talking to the official. He's like, look, man, I'm good, man. I just got caught. However, the referee did the right thing. It was the right call. Even if Truex could come back and do some type of work, but at that point, he's been in the game long enough to know that he was in a certain kind of condition where the fight would be stopped, especially in New Jersey, where safety is a hallmark of that state boxing commission. So Dirrell, he's ready for it. He wants that rematch with Badu Jack. Wouldn't be surprised if I see him in Washington, D.C. tonight. And then in the main event, Anthony's brother, Andre Dirrell, came out. And Andre fought Blake Caparella. First round, Andre was stalking. He wasn't too busy. I gave him a round. But he needs to get more busy early on. Second round, Dirrell comes out righty instead of the southpaw stance. He's a switch hitter. And then he went lefty. And wide, a lot of wide punches. I don't know. There just seems to be something that's missing with Andre, and while Andre was against the ropes trying to counter, Caparello landed a straight punch, or a timely punch, more timely punch than Dirrell's counter, and Dirrell went down. he had Dirrell. It was. I won't say it was devastating, but I won't call it a flash either. But I'd put it closer to a flash than anything. Um, Caparella wasn't able to do anything a lot more than that. In round three, that knockdown, I should say, got Dirrell's attention. Round three, he started throwing combinations, still against the ropes, and and he was able to be very effective. In the fourth round, Dirrell just threw some shots, and near the end of the round, Caparella to end the round with a left, and it looked like things were going to heat up from there. Round five began again with Dirrell stalking. It appears he wanted to look for the knockout, and maybe not to focus on his boxing skill. And that's not right in a lot of ways for Dirrell. That's not his style. I mean, don't get me wrong, fans love the knockout, and but I think that he's putting pressure on himself when he does that. When he looks for the knockout, I think he's putting pressure on himself, because whether it's his brother, who he wanted to outdo, whether the fact that Dirrell is just hungry for a world title. His brother is, by most observations, the less talented of the two, but he's won a world title. Andre has better tools, so to speak, and he hasn't won. So whether it's the pressure that he's putting on himself, whether it was just, I want to outperform my brother, whatever it is, I don't know. Something just doesn't seem quite the same with Andre. Now, everyone will point to the fact that he was off for close to 2 years, or was it a little over 2 years? I can't recall exactly how long. But he's going to have to, Andre's going to have to get it together. He's going to have to get it together. The blessing in disguise may be the fact that he did get knocked down. And when he fought James DeGale, he was knocked down a couple of times, and I don't think people saw that coming. The fact that it went rounds, it went the distance, might work in his favor. Also, he was very emotional after his victory. Very emotional. And then when I tried to catch up to him after the fight, I think he was just spent energy-wise from the energy expended in the fight, and then coming down from the high, the emotional roller coaster that he was on. So that's okay. We'll catch up to Andre. I've chatted with him numerous times, so he knows who I am. He maybe not by name, but and I've chatted more with his brother than he. But we'll see where it goes. I'm a little concerned about him, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you one thing. You're going to get a fight from him, win, lose, or draw. When he does step up and get another title opportunity, well, you know, we'll cover that when the time comes. But that's basically it. I'm about an hour away. We'll be heading to Washington, D.C. in about an hour to check out Badou Jack versus Lucien Bute. Title fight there. And also we got Chunky versus Porky. We got James, Chunky, DeGale, and Rogelio, Porky, Medina. So we're gonna see what's going on. Of course, the two champions should be the favorites tonight. Something about Butte. I saw something in Butte's eyes. He was at the. They had a press conference on the night that Adrian Broner fought Ashley Theophane, and I saw something that I haven't seen in a while in Butte's eyes that suggested that he knows, like either there's something that he sees that he can take advantage of, or, and I could be reading it wrong, or he knows he's 35-ish or so, and this is going to be his shot, maybe his final shot, and he's going to be amped. Now, being amped on April 1st and being amped up on April 30th are different things. A lot of things can happen in 29 days or what have you. So, but I tell you what, if the fight happened that night, I was taking Butte. Just, there's a look. Boxing fans may not know, but I'm sure media does. There's this look that you see in a guy. John Jones, I don't like him, the MMA guy, but at the weigh-in, when he did the brief interview after stepping off the scales, he had this look in his eye. It wasn't his best performance when he fought, but it was this look like I hadn't seen before, and I'm like, okay, whatever distraction or whatever, he's gonna be all right. So there you have it. We'll give you some video and a decent write-up, and try to get as much video as we can tonight at the James DeGale Lucien Butte fight. And on the left coast, for those of you, I guess it's PBC competing against itself here. We have Victor Ortiz versus Andre Berto 2, Part 2. They fought some years ago, and Ortiz won that. So now this is the rematch. So I'll get home and hopefully catch well, this is Fox, I'm not sure. I'll catch the replay or watch it online or something like that. But until then, we'll make sure you check our YouTube page out, The Fight Journal. Please subscribe. Check us out on Twitter at The Fight Journal. Facebook, we got a fan page, and just check us out. I mean, we got about 1,000 followers. Oh, go to the website and follow us too. There's a follow us on Twitter on the website, and then there's a follow the website. Follow the website. That's what we want. We got about 1,000 followers there, like 900 something. I believe it's 900 something. Close to 1,000 followers there. We have about 650 or so Twitter followers, and that's without trying. Now we're gonna do a push. If we talk this time next year, we'll have 2,000 Twitter followers or more. And so definitely follow us on, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and then follow us at thefightjournal.com on the actual website.